splendor around Chapel Hill already surrounds what is an intoxicating atmosphere for college football. Kenan Stadium, site of today's Citgo ACC Game of the Week from Jefferson Pilot Sports. The Clemson Tigers take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Martin here along with Doc Walker. Well, you hope you make your debut on a solid stage and that you don't fall off it. Charlie Whitehurst had his day last week, and he didn't fall off the stage.
A record-setting day. Boy, the 6'4" redshirt freshman did all you could expect. 340 yards in offense, 4 scores. And you know, Steve, the most important thing about this kid, no interceptions. Watch him slide and glide. Find the open receiver, no panic. I really thought Coach West's offensive line did a great job of giving him some protection. When he had to get out of the pocket, he knew exactly where to go with the football. This young man did it all, and the favorite part about it is his toughness. Watch him there. Coaches may not like that. Coach Bowden may not like it, but I thought it was cool.
No, and of course he had the toughness to get through, but of course you look at North Carolina, they're having a tough season. But a guy who's having a great season for them despite that is Sam Aiken, who can smash some records today.
On senior day, what more fitting than a 6'2" young man wide receivers made nothing but great plays. 6 catches away from a record. He deserves that. He's been the bright spot for Carolina Blue all season long.
You know, they've had tailbacks here get 1,000 yards a season, but they haven't had a wide receiver do that. Sam Aiken can do that with a big day today. It is senior day, an emotional day. The last time around at Kenan Stadium for these seniors, it's been a traumatic season for them. They can make good this afternoon against the Tigers. It's the Tar Heels and the Tigers coming your way next from Chapel Hill. We'll be right back with more.
The Citgo ACC Game of the Week is being brought to you by your neighborhood Citgo, proud to support today's athletes. Citgo, we know you. By BB&T, Branch Banking and Trust Company. By Alltel, are you connected? By Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. And by Ice House. At Plank Road Brewery, we'll make the Ice House, you make the ads. For details, go to icehouse.com.
One of the most replicated landmarks on the Chapel Hill campus, the Old Well here at Carolina. And that's where we are at Kenan Stadium for today's ACC football matchup between North Carolina and Clemson. With more, and talking about a solid defensive back, here's Mike Hogwood.
Steve, and when you talk about North Carolina's defense, the one problem they've had is stopping the run. And I'll tell you, that's not the fault of one Dexter Reed at safety. This guy leads the ACC in tackles, 13.1 a game. As you see, the Tar Heels coming onto the field here at Kenan Stadium, getting ready for their final home game of the season. Dexter Reed, who is great at stopping the run, defending the pass. Now, what John Bunting says, he wants everybody else on this defense to watch what Dexter Reed, this junior, does, the way he plays, the intensity that he has in a game, and to rise up to that level. If they can do that, he feels they have a good chance of stopping the Clemson Tigers today. There's a lot for Dexter Reed and his Tar Heels to play for. That is a win in Kenan Stadium, something they haven't had all year. The Clemson Tigers still battling to be bowl eligible. It's Clemson and North Carolina, an ACC battle coming your way next.
John Bunting on the sideline thinking nothing. Top last week. His team has nowhere to go but up, and it's senior day. It's a very emotional day. Clemson has won the toss, but they have elected to defer their option to the second half. Tommy Bowden sheds the jacket. It's warm on the sidelines. A beautiful day for football. Clemson will kick off. Stephen Furr will kick off deep. Wallace Wright, a walk-on, with Malon Carey, who's a true freshman, back to receive for North Carolina. We are underway in the sun at Chapel Hill. This is Wright at the 3. Wright hits the wedge, gets a nice opening, and falls out to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10. Travis Pugh comes up with the tackle, but North Carolina comes out on offense, and C.J. Stevens will lead them there. We have a flag down on the play, however. It's a hold against North Carolina. And this is the thing that John Bunting just boils inside at.
It just gnaws away at you.
During the return, holding by the receiving team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
It's Thomas Zamorski, our referee this afternoon. Here's C.J. Stevens out of Gainesville, Florida, transfer from the Gators program. Played one down with Florida. 55% of his passes have been caught by people in his own uniform. 589 yards.
That helps.
That helps. They don't count him otherwise. And he'll look at Jacques Lewis as his tailback to open up 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line where they back it up after the penalty. First down pass complete to Sam Aiken, and Aiken gets himself some running room and is driven out of bounds by Justin Miller. Let's take a look at our Chevy starting lineups now. And you'll see Sam Aiken, who could get 1,000 yards receiving this season and be the first UNC back to do that. Terry, Faison, Borders, and Hilton, the backs and receivers. Jason Brown is the top center in the ACC and touted such by his coach. McNeil, Wilson, Ralph, and Terry up front. 2nd down and about 4. Inside handoff, Malon Carey. And Carey gets a little bit of running room. He's about up to the 29-yard line, brought down by John Leake. Let's look at Clemson's defense now as our Chevy starting lineups continue. This guy's a good one. Bryant McNeil, 8 tackles for a loss, leads a solid front line with Nick Eason, Donnell Washington, Khalid Bond. And look at this, Rodney Thomas, who called his name all last week, and here's why. 19 tackles with Leake and Sampson as the backers.
The hit machine.
Derek Meekins had a big interception that ended Duke's rally last week with Mance and Bodrick and Miller, who just made that tackle in the backfield. Big 3rd down play facing the Tar Heels here, and 3. First series of the ball game for either side. Out of the shotgun, Stevens over the middle. No.
Yep.
Ball was low. Yep. To Pollock, actually. Jaworski Pollock, the sophomore from Bradenton, Florida. So the punting unit comes on, and in that unit there has been a change. We expect to see Paul Roberts, but no. John Lafferty comes out there today. Lafferty comes out. Of course, John Bunting was not very happy with the effort.
And John has shown he was not afraid to make changes.
But he's going to change back here for Lafferty. And Lafferty gets a line drive kick. This is Derek Hamilton looking to field it at the 28. Tries to reverse field, and he's on his way. At least for a moment. Jacques Lewis, who's been playing a lot on special teams while injured, brings him down at the 30-yard line. And that's after a gain of about 3 yards. It's a 44-yard punt by Lafferty.
You know, Steve, you look at the penalty on the kickoff, and then, of course, a drop, which would have been a 1st down play. Those kind of plays have just plagued Carolina.
And here's Charlie Whitehurst out of Duluth, Georgia. Redshirt freshman, had a great day against Duke in his first start a week ago, and his first play from scrimmage is a play fake. He'll camp out. Protection up pretty good. Pitches now on the corner to Rembert, and Rembert rumbles for a 1st down at the 43-yard line. Well, Charlie Whitehurst looks like he's picking up the dock where he came back last week.
Not afraid to improvise, and always seems to make the right decision.
Kevin Youngblood, one of 2 receivers with 10 receptions last week. Rembert, Hamilton, and the rest. Gary Bird, the veteran leader of the front line. As our Chevy lineups continue, and we have a 1st down for the Clemson Tigers. Here's the handoff. This time Rembert takes it from the quarterback in the backfield and gets another 1st down and carries it into North Carolina territory at the 43. It's going to be an 11-yard gain.
Well, you talked about Gary Bird. He just had a steamroll of a block for the Clemson Tigers. That's awesome.
17-yard gain on the play. And in 2 plays, the Clemson Tigers carve up some real estate.
Talked about Dexter Reed, the starting strong safety, free safety rather, who is quite a hit man of his own sort.
This is going to be incomplete for Jackie Robinson. He made the catch, but he was out of bounds. And covering on the play, Kevin Knight, and that brings up 2nd down.
It seems like Jackie's been there forever.
I know.
Well, certain guys seem like they've been with the program at least 15 years.
And Youngblood is one other.
Yeah. Seems like
McKelvey.
Those guys come in and play as freshmen.
Yep.
And quite productive.
And, you know, sometimes that has to happen on your program when you have a changeover in coaches.
No doubt about it.
Tommy's in his 4th year here.
Well, Coach Bowden has definitely established his mark, his trademark on this team.
Says he's got another great recruiting year that he's hoping to wrap up. And doesn't lose many from this team. This is Rembert. And Rembert gets tied up not far beyond the line of scrimmage. Tommy Davis and Chase Page in on the tackle.
Remember when Coach Bowden first made his move to Clemson. And it was a problem. The offensive linemen weren't that big. And that's why you look at what Coach Ron West has to work with now. His offensive line here on this play didn't do a great job, but they've done a fantastic job of pass protection.
Now Clemson's faced with a third down here. Third and long yardage, about 9. Whitehurst out of the gun. Blitz is on. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. Broken up. Nice play by Derek Johnson. Ball and defender and receiver got to one spot at the same time.
Now that's a good piece of work there. Whitehurst in the pocket strong. You see a route. Nice little burst at the end. You come back. See the right hand? Very good. I mean, that's picture perfect. Picture perfect.
Win Kopp into punt. Michael Waddell will stand back at the 10-yard line. There's Kopp's average on the season, 6th in the ACC. Longest 53. His career long is 60. He won't need either one of those type of kicks here this afternoon in this play. Gets it up there, but it'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Covers 41 yards. It'll come out to the 20, and that's where the Tar Heels will get their second possession of the afternoon. Scoreless here in Chapel Hill between North Carolina and Clemson in our Citgo ACC broadcast. Back in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Score tied, no score here after both teams have a crack at it. Second series offensively for North Carolina. Steve Martin here, along with Doc Walker and Mike Hogwood. Beautiful day here. Temperature in the mid-60s. Not much of a breeze. C.J. Stevens brings him to the line. Handoff goes to Carey, the two freshmen. He came off the block of his center, but meeting him there was Eric Meekins as soon as he cleared it.
Well, Meekins met him with bad intentions. It looked like that ball was juggling around for a moment.
That'll give you a little palpitation. There's Carey. Pressed into service in the Virginia game. They took his red shirt off that day, and he has not disappointed the North Carolina staff.
Showed no stage fright.
No.
Against the Cavaliers. Jumped right in.
There's a lot of talk he'll move to the secondary next year. Stevens, flare pass, Aiken. Off his hip, takes it ahead and close to the first down. Rodney Thomas there on the tackle at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7 on the play and close enough to move the chains, maybe.
Boy, nice action. If not for the hit man, Rodney Thomas, that might have broken for a big one. Again, look, not a lot to do in terms of blocking. Get out, cut some people, and let your athlete run with it. It's amazing the makeup speed that Rodney Thomas possessed.
Oh, boy. But I'll tell you what, both teams have the same intentions. They have guys out there like Aiken for North Carolina, Derek Hamilton for Clemson, and
Honorary,
who will supplement your ground game. Here is Jock Lewis picking his way up over the 35, and he gets nice yardage to the 38 before Altroy Baldrick gets him down.
Yeah, Jock did a real good job of just going north-south. You know, a lot of times as a back, you have the tendency to want to bounce it. You can't bounce against a team like Clemson because they fly to the football. And see right there, when he straightened things up, to me, I mean, that's the best part of the run.
Second down and 1. An offensive coordinator's dream. You can bet Gary Tranker's licking his chops at this one. He decides to send it to Jock Lewis. Gets up over the 40-yard line to the 41, and he's got the first down for the Tar Heels. To the sidelines we go with Mike Hogwood.
One thing I'm noticing about C.J. Stevens in this game, it really has become his team, his offense. He has been very vocal on the sidelines in that huddle, encouraging guys, yelling when he needs to, really being a vocal leader as well as the quarterback.
Had quite an act to follow, Mike. Darian Durant, when he went down, had completed 10 straight passes and was having, Doc, probably the game of his life.
Yeah, he was having an all-conference performance in terms of his year. I like this kid. This kid has stepped in. And there again, his ball is right on the money.
And Darrell Mitchell. There is Darrell Mitchell, actually. And there's Darian Durant on the sidelines.
Ironic, as Mike Hogwood talks about C.J. Stevens, we have two quarterbacks here, two, quote, backup quarterbacks who have come in and excelled. I mean, these guys have not played like guys who weren't starters. I mean, and you know what? It'll be tough to blow them out of there if they continue at this level.
C.J. Stevens looking at second down and 4. At his own 47, it's quarterback draw. And Stevens gets into Clemson territory, dangerously spikes the ball on the turf at the 44.
Man, see, that's attitude there. Now, this is what I look for in a quarterback. A guy, you know, and Coach Mike Hogwood mentioned, he's vocal. Now he's physical here. See, great bit of competing. And I love it when he stretched the ball out at the end to try to secure the sticks.
9 yards on the carry. North Carolina and Clemson territory at the 45-yard line. Stevens directing traffic, has 3 wideouts and a wing. That's Blizzard to his right side. 7-step drop over the middle, complete, but dropped. Picked up by Clemson.
No, that was not.
No,
They're going to say juggled.
They're going to say juggled it.
No possession.
Clemson fans across the way, and there's a good many of them, take issue. But it didn't look like the receiver had the ball.
Coach Bowden is going to go after this one. You want to make sure. I don't blame you, Tommy. Make sure. And we take a look at it. I don't know. It looked like he was down off the initial look. Sitting on his butt. Boy, look at that pass protection. Jeff Terry did a great job.
Oh,
No, he never really had. See, the guys in stripes, they're right again.
Yep.
But we're wrong, they're right again. What's new?
Incompleted pass. Here's Stevens right up the middle. Big hole. Justin Miller puts his shoulder to him and finally goes down at the 31-yard line. It's another first down for the Tar Heel.
Boy, Justin Miller put his shoulder down. He was abused on that one. Now that'll get you trash talking going on in film studies throughout the week. Quarterback takes you on. Again, the offensive line up front. Hal Hunter's boys are competing. Now that's a pretty good little sock, but the quarterback went forward.
Well, we get 2 big quarterbacks. You know, Whitehurst 6'4", but Stevens no slouch at 6'3". Here's Carey. Man on carry up over the 30-yard line down to the 28. It's going to be a gain of about 3 yards on the play for the true freshman.
You know, I can't emphasize how important senior day is. I mean, and then you look at the things that have gone on in Carolina, maybe a little thin in that department or so, and the underclassmen give their guts, they'll spill their guts for you, and they show you love by how hard they play. So far, Carolina's playing extremely hard.
10th play of this drive that started at their own 20. They're at the Clemson 28. Second down and about 7. Play action for Stevens. Steps up, has a man. It is intercepted. Justin Miller.
That's a great read. Great read. Oh, Justin took a hit, but he came back and showed you some athleticism. This time, C.J. Stevens kind of let that one hang a little too long. Had great pass pro. Jeff Terry playing the right tackle spot. Does an outstanding job on the ball side. Here we take a look. A little play action fake. Backers in there, 41. Rodney Thomas, he bites. See, too casual. The throw was casual. It fluttered. It was short. Great hands by Miller.
Looking for Chesley Borders. Miller instead picks up his 5th interception of the season. Redshirt freshman, tied for first in the ACC.
Yeah, C.J. needed to put some attitude behind that throw.
So Charlie Whitehurst backed up to his own 2, but he's happy to be back on the field. The handoff goes to the fullback Jasmine just to get themselves some running room. That's Chad Jasmine. Clemson starts in their own 2, and they push the ball back out over the 6 for a 4-yard gain. No huddle for the Tigers. They'll get up there and read. Key for North Carolina, can they move their backers around to trick Charlie Whitehurst into making another, or the coaches up at the top and making a call. Whitehurst on the corner. No, behind Jackie Robinson. Michael Waddell, Kevin Knight covering on the play for the Tar Heels.
See, it's a difference when we've commented on Charlie's ability to slide and be real accurate with the football. This time, it was a sprint.
Yeah.
So he's running, and that really makes it a lot more difficult to be accurate with the football. But again, now that's 2 opportunities that Clemson in the air game, you know, have blundered.
Robinson, Curry, Hamilton are wide to the wide side of the field. Rembert in the backfield, and now Clemson will call for timeout. Something there they don't like. And they're going to call a timeout and talk things over. No score. Clemson in a deep hole. As the timeout is called, Clemson down third down and 6.
That was an alignment problem.
So we will take the timeout with them, and they'll cure that alignment problem. We'll be back after these messages from your local ACC station. We are back. Key 3rd down play. 3rd and 6 for Clemson. No score. Into the end zone. Rushes on. And tackled in the end zone is Charlie Whitehurst. An open blitz by Kevin Knight.
Boy, that's unusual.
Wow.
Right, the quarterback on his onside. to have a free runner that he not be able to pick up.
Whitehurst tackled in the end zone for a safety. Nobody saw Kevin Knight coming off the corner.
And again, we mentioned the rarity in that right-handed quarterback there. You see Beeline right to him. He's there. And either he has a hot read, and that's the quarterback's responsibility to get rid of the football.
But Rembert looked the other way.
Never saw him. Never saw him. So, you know, we talk about, go back to the alignment problem. You know, maybe just in that something went haywire, but don't take away from the Heels. Right now, they have momentum, and we've seen Carolina come out in the first half and play good football. Question is, can they put some points behind that great effort?
Well, they squandered an opportunity getting close to the red zone the last time, but that in itself proved that they can move the football. Now they're going to get a free kick in their direction and get a chance at possibly some good field position to start a drive. There's Kevin Knight, senior out of Suffolk, Virginia. Makes a great play coming right off the corner, untouched, and gets the sack. That's his first sack of the season.
You think Coach Huxtable and Coach Bunting had some fun designing that deal?
Oh, yeah. But they couldn't even imagine that no, you don't know the situation.
Exactly. It's going to be picked up.
Yeah.
Oh, John, Coach Bunting, he's been on the kick out end of some of those hits as a linebacker. I can tell you firsthand, folks, he was a monster.
Stephen Furr getting set to kick this one. He'll kick it off the tee at the 20-yard line. You have an option of either. Wallace Wright, Malon Carey rather, getting back. That's Carey, the true freshman from Mapleton, Georgia. And we are ready to go. 2-0 North Carolina, tackling Charlie Whitehurst in the end zone. Wright is underneath it at the 24. Cuts through a hole. He's on his way into Clemson territory, skips a couple of blockers and is knocked out by Jamal Fudge. A saving tackle on a great return of 45 yards by Wallace Wright.
Wow. Just when you need special teams to come through. And it's an unselfish approach and good thinking not to take some block that may have been questionable. And at this point, it's all afterburner time. Sometimes the best block you make on a return is a block you don't make, but you just shield for your returner.
1st and 10, North Carolina. Here comes Jacques Lewis, and he is thrown back to the line of scrimmage. Forward progress maybe down to the 28-yard line as we take a look at our Ice House scoreboard. NC State playing up at College Park today, and Wolfpack in the lead 7-0 after sustaining their first loss last week. Iowa by a touchdown over Northwestern in the Big Ten. Well, we've seen how that feels. 2-0 over Navy in the first.
Well, isn't momentum a beautiful thing to watch?
Oh, yeah.
It can go on either side, and we sure it will eventually. But these young kids now from Carolina are quite inspired.
3-yard gain. Here's Stevens with the throw. The pass complete. It's Aiken. And he refuses to go down. Sam Aiken down to the 15-yard line. Brian Mance wrestles him down. That's his 3rd catch of the afternoon. He needs 3 more to pass Nay Brown's single-season mark set twice in 97 and 98 at North Carolina.
Again, I like the pass protection. And the ball's right on the money. What you see there, folks, that's effort. That's being a senior. That's trying to represent.
13-yard gain, handoff. This time.
And that's Clemson saying enough of this.
Yeah, Bryant McNeil, Nick Eason say we've had enough.
Yeah. Eventually, you know Nick Eason will come up on your screen. The 2 things you can count on. Rodney Thomas, John Leake will be there. Again, the size of this guy, enormous. One of those guys you don't want to invite over for Thanksgiving.
Unless you got a lot of birds.
Unless you have 2 or 3 birds.
Yeah. 2nd down now, 12. North Carolina in the red zone. This is their 2nd journey into Clemson territory today and their 3rd possession. They lead 2-0. Stevens gets it out to his back, carries. And Malon Carey, yeah, he's hit. That's Thomas. Thomas is there with Morris and also Nick Eason just to supervise at the 17-yard line. A Red Roof in red zone proficiency. shows the Tar Heels 50% on touchdowns on 24 chances this year. They kicked 3 field goals. Loss of 1 on that play.
Well, one thing you know against the Tigers defensively, Coach Lovett's boys, you're going to have to earn it.
Big third down play coming for the Tar Heels. Up 2-0. Third down and a long 12. Make it 13. Stevens rushes on over the middle. Touchdown. Bobby Blizzard.
Boy, you talk about thread the needle. Eric Meekin's right in front of him. He almost caught him off guard.
Wow.
The big fella. Bobby B, 280-pound junior out of Hampton, Virginia. All he does, folks, is get open. Here you watch, little slide pass protection. Good man up there on Easton. He couldn't get through. Ball low. Got big fella, went down and got it. And that helps you win. Jupiter Wilson with the pass protection there. Good job for the Heels. 4th touchdown of the season for Bobby Blizzard. Here's Dan Orner for the kick. The point after kick is good. And the Tar Heels have themselves a 9-0 lead following a safety, a long kickoff return, and this 18-yard hookup from C.J. Stevens to Bobby Blizzard in the end zone. North Carolina up 9-zip. Well, the special teams have given Carolina something to cheer about. A safety, a big return that set up a touchdown, and then Bobby Blizzard took care of the rest. Bobby Blizzard, the tight end, caught an 18-yard aerial from C.J. Stevens. And for Stevens this season, that's going to be his 3rd touchdown pass of the year. Well, what I like about a quarterback that can throw an interception, come right back, and throw a touchdown says a lot about his character. Here's a guy who didn't get down in the dumps, wasn't frightened to come back and try it again. And, boy, what can you say?
Topher Roberts with a kick. Derek Hamilton under it at the 3. Here's a guy to watch. But North Carolina there to shut it down. Holt is there with Malon Perry. And he is knocked down at the 26-yard line. It's a 23-yard return.
Oh, Derek
Holt helped out.
Derek is the man to watch.
Yes, he is. The all-time or the, well, we've got a hold coming up against Clemson. So Clemson starting out in their 3rd series like Carolina did in their 1st.
Yeah, in a rut.
Holding against the receiving team. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, see Coach Bowden here coaching. He never stopped coaching. The good ones are always coaching, no matter what. And then we see it right there at the end. See, right there at the end. That's where it happened. And it's unnecessary because at that point, the back really doesn't need you. You missed your position. Head in front so you can see the numbers. If you don't see the numbers, let it go.
At the 17-yard line, 1st and 10, Charlie Whitehurst, who is 1 for 4 in the afternoon. Back to throw on 1st down, and it is incomplete, intended for Youngblood. Doug Justice covering on the play. So an inauspicious start for Whitehurst.
Yeah, well, Charlie needs some help. Now, he's going to need some help from his receivers. That's 3 times now. Twice on his account. One, Robinson, I thought, could have had a catch on it.
Yep.
They just got to get in sync. And one thing about Clemson, we know this. They have explosive potential, and it's usually just a matter of time.
Refer to last week. 21 unanswered points. Hello. 4 in the 4th. Rushes on Whitehurst out of the pocket, throws one up for Curry, complete, and there you go. Curry in a foot race. They won't get him. Touchdown, Clemson.
Hello.
One play.
That's the Tigers, folks. Whitehurst, the big-time arm. Again, that offensive line, I continue to praise Ron West and his group because they gave up one safety, but when it comes down to regular situation, they've given this kid time. Take another look at it. I mean, he eyeballs straight down, little look off, just a little look off, and folks, this is what every wide receiver dreams of. Get the catch, rainbow pass, and you try to talk a little trash, toss it.
All right, here comes Hunt for the point after, and it is good. And just like that, Clemson gets all but 2 of it back. It's an 83-yard hookup from David Whitehurst. Downfield to Aries Curry. That's the 2nd time those 2 have hooked up. It's Curry's 3rd touchdown reception of the year.
Well, Curry is he's a sick receiver. Great speed. He can catch it, comes up, makes big plays.
6th touchdown reception or pass of the year by Whitehurst. And look at him last week. record-setting day. He set records in completions, passing yards, tied his teammate Willie Simmons in touchdowns. And there's a story to that, too. Attempts without an interception and offensive plays. The story is,
I want to hear the story.
Willie Simmons threw those 4 touchdown passes against North Carolina on this football field 2 years ago.
Why did I know that?
Because you read the same thing I did.
Oh, boy.
3rd longest touchdown play in Clemson history.
You know how many universities would just love to have the ability to do what they just accomplished?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of teams, that's going to take them 6 minutes. But they have the ability to come back just like that. And that's why if you play Clemson, boy, you better put a lot of points up early.
And I've been told by Freddie Coger that that is the longest pass play in Kenan Stadium history.
And you know, Freddie's seen them all. You know, he's seen them all.
He has?
Yeah,
there he is. There's Freddie right here.
It's kind of scary that he's seen that much, you know.
Well,
the question is, has there been any cosmetic work? How can a guy have seen so much and look so youthful?
Half a century, still has all his hair.
All his, come on now. I mean, but again, did he buy that look, or is it the birthright?
I'm not sure that look is bought. And on the other end, the official stats guy, Tom Kasef, is also a redhead.
Now that's scary. That's
where do you find that?
Yeah, Duke man, I might add.
Yeah.
In Carolina blue territory.
Here comes the kickoff. Wallace Wright, who had a nice return last time. But this time won't be as fortunate. He's brought down by number 50, Nigel Vaughn. It's a 23-yard return. And it'll bring North Carolina out with the football at the 24-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot here in this game so far.
Now, Carolina Clemson. Now, if you want to really get a good look at the benefit of momentum, watch Clemson on this defensive series.
Yeah.
Okay? Not that I'm a fortune teller.
No. Well, you've been good so far.
But I guarantee you, you're going to see something that shows you how emotions run with young people. You know, and Carolina's got to make sure they don't get down. And Clemson, watch them bounce.
Well, C.J. Stevens.
There'll be some ferocious hitting in this series.
C.J. Stevens has had a pretty good day here. Let's see what he does this time around. Handoff goes to Terry, and Terry wrestled down and hit first.
Now, Leak. Who else?
Yep, Leak with Gerald.
You know that John Leak is not going to let Rodney Thomas or Nick Eason get all of the hits.
And Todd McClinton made a big hit there, too. At halftime, we'll be looking at all the All-Tel halftime stats. They should be quite interesting. We'd have a lot to talk about here at halftime.
That's why sometimes when a team gets a big play on you, you all got to come back and throw one on them.
Yep. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Stevens, rush blitz is on. Carolina picks it up and gave him time to throw to Aiken. His 4th reception of the day. Brought down there by Maurice Fountain and Eric Sampson, close to the 1st down at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, see, that'll take a little bit of the sting out of the Tigers defensively. There's just no way to describe how valuable it is to have a guy like Higgins. And that ball was slightly thrown behind. He slows down, then he skids on hits the brakes, secures the catch, and puts Carolina in a position to get a 1st down.
We're tracking Sam Aiken today. 2 more receptions, and he becomes the single-season leader in North Carolina history with 56. Blizzard in motion. Handoff comes to Jock Vaughn. He's hit in the backfield by Eason and then surges ahead close to the 1st down.
Well, he did a great job of running away from Rodney Thomas.
And he gets the 1st down.
And sometimes you just got to guess this. And Rodney felt they were going to go at that time to his right, and there would have been a massive collision at that point. Good piece of running.
1st down marker moves, and North Carolina moves it again to about the 34, close to the 35.
And it's a big drive. They survived that initial burst of excitement by the Tigers.
Here comes Stevens on the corner, gets a nice block there to keep Thomas off, and he's on his way. C.J. Stevens is the leading ground gainer for the North Carolina Tar Heels, and he just showed why, out to the 47-yard line.
All right, Jeb Terry. And we talked about this offensive line for Carolina. This time, watch how they collapse down. See that in there? They collapse in. They get a seal in there. They're going to get a little bit of a seam. You get a kick-out block right there by Bell. And then Stevens gets to compete. It's a good piece of blocking by Hal Hunter's offensive line.
And a good block by the tight end near the end of the play. 1st and 10 at the 47. Handoff goes to Jacques Lewis, and Lewis straight ahead over the 50 into Clemson territory. Down at the 48-yard line. Rodney Feaster makes the tackle. It's a gain of 4 on the play.
4-yard gain against the Tigers at this point is big time.
Well, you're talking about one of the better defenses in the ACC.
No question. And they thrive off tackles for losses, disruptive things that they do, and forcing you to turn the ball over.
Second down and 6. North Carolina up here by 2. Moving the ball out of their own territory.
Chris Bowden wants that ball back.
They send 2 men on a blitz this time. Stevens has time to pick it up. Floats one out. Aikens complete. Flag on the play.
Did he push off a bit? Or was he responding to being tugged on a little? Boy, what a great block in the backfield by Jacques Lewis.
And North Carolina's body language suggests that it's going back against the Tar Heels.
Yeah. Coach Bunting just lost his hat.
Did he?
Pass interference against the offense. 15 yards to previous spot. Still second down.
Oh, John is hot.
When that hat comes off,
yeah, that's
buddy, you're in trouble. Now, this is a great one. We're talking about watch Aikens run his route. He's going to run the corner route. I'd like to see him take the stem up. If he'd have pushed the stem up more, he would have been wide open. And then you get a little bit of pitter pattern going on between Broderick and that time Aikens. And again, I saw it at the end, and I thought, might go back.
Yep,
might go back.
John Bunting doesn't share that opinion, and he lets the official on that side, the field judge on that side, know about it.
Well, I guarantee you, Coach Brewer, when he goes over to meet the films, he's going to say to Sam, son, if you kept that stem up just a little bit more, you would have sold it, you'd have been wide open.
Second down and 21. North Carolina backed up to its own 37. Stevens now out of the pocket, has time, throws, almost picked off by Brian Mance, intended for Darrell Mitchell. And a flag down on the play at the 35-yard line. Brian Mance, who has 11 career interceptions and 5 on the year.
Again, CJ got a little lazy with the football.
Illegal procedure. Marked off against the heels. And Tommy Bowden will decline.
He wants that football.
That's right. Brings up third down.
Illegal formation against the offense. It's refused. Third down.
And 21 from the 37.
Both of these head coaches, Coach Bowden again, Coach Bunting, great competitors. I mean, these guys, you almost want to see those two suited up, because you know it would go down to the death.
Well, they are 2 of the more affable and straightforward guys you want to talk to.
Good guys to work with.
Yep.
Building great programs based on solid fundamentals and good kids.
5 wide receivers in open backfield for C.J. Stevens on 3rd and long. Has time, steps up. McClinton in pursuit. Floats a duck out there, almost picked off by Mance.
You want to see some courage, Steve? C.J. Stevens waited until the last available moment. He realized at that point he was about to get a Rydell right under his chin. And right now he's hurt.
Yeah, he's
hurting there. I've seen that look before. That's just, now watch this hit at the end. Yeah, see, that's a rib shot. That's a rib shot. That's how. Oh, those hurt.
Paul Roberts is back to kick, and he shanks one off the side of the foot. And it is going to be in Clemson territory. This is going to be a very short kick.
Well,
of about 11 yards, maybe 8.
A short stint for Mr. Robert punting as well. I'd be willing to wager on that one.
An 8-yard punt. And Clemson will pick it up in excellent field position.
It's hard enough to defend the Tigers with a full field.
Yeah.
Let alone cut their work in half.
Yeah, short field.
I mean, that's suicide.
At the North Carolina 45, Clemson now in excellent field position with 1:06 to go in the first quarter. Trailing here 9-7. The pitch. This is Ty Hill turning the corner. Good speed by Hill to get into the Carolina secondary, and he's brought down at the 28-yard line by Kevin Knight, Dexter Reed, and Jonas Seawright.
Oh, Jackie Robinson, 82 for the Clemson Tigers. Good piece of blocking. You show me a back that breaks one, I'll show you a wide receiver that chipped in somewhere to make it happen.
Ty Hill A backup to Yusuf Kelly. Kelly not available today with a hamstring injury. He'll not suit up. So it'll be Rembert and Ty Hill carrying the ball most of the time. Here's Rembert, inside handoff. And he runs into Doug Justice, but drags him to the 25-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of about 4 on the play.
If you get over 40 and you go out to, your barbecue cocktail party, somebody says, hey, how's your day going? You say, well, I pulled a ham. You always want to say you pulled a hamstring. It shows you could run. Nobody slow pulls hams.
No, that's
true. It's a sprinter's deal. So, yeah, I'm pulling ham. Hams feel tight.
Second down and 7. They'll call it 3 on Rambert's game. Fake to him. The pass to Curry in the flats. And Curry driven down there by Malcolm Stewart, but he might have drove him in the direction of the first down. Waddell made the first hit, and he looks like he's hurt.
But Gary Bird hurt him. I mean, Gary Bird, left tackle for the Clemson Tigers, shows you, for an offensive lineman, when you get a chance to go out on a corner, I mean, that's like a treat. That's dessert. And if we get a chance to show you this, folks, you're going to see a guy really throw his body around.
And this is Michael Waddell. This is cause for concern here. After a 7-yard gain on the pass play to Curry that is good for first down. Waddell, a senior from Ellerbe, North Carolina. Played on those great Richmond County high school teams that were so strong. And Waddell looking at that left knee.
Yeah, boy, you hate this.
He's a burner. They've expected an awful lot of Michael Waddell. Let's watch this play here.
This Curry, I mean, let's see, you watch at the end.
Oh, and then doubled over his leg.
Yeah, double over. I mean, that's just, it's a bit unfair, but it's the game. If you weigh 310 and you get a chance to go out, you hit a guy weighing 175, and I mean, that's what linemen dream for. I mean, you wait on that.
And that would be a tough injury for North Carolina to sustain, because their defensive lineup from last year was already minus 8 guys, and 6 of them are playing on Sunday.
And playing pretty well.
Well, exactly. and then you lose a guy like a Will Chapman, an Eric Davis, and now if Waddell can't come back, that's another returning starter. He was one of the 3 returning starters in that secondary.
And to compound that, senior day.
Yeah.
Your family here, you want to, for all the students that have cheered for your career, you really want to go out with a win. And
well, we hope he can come back.
I do too. When you watch a guy walk off that way, a guy who's a sprinter, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good at all. Big guy walking that way, got to play in short space. Maybe he can come back. I'd be surprised.
Well, we saw Cedric Johnson at Clemson do just that last week. He limped off the field, and then all of a sudden, 3 series later, he's back in the game.
But that happens if you get like a Charlie horse.
Yeah.
Or you get, you can also get a contusion. The most painful part of the leg is the inside by the calf. Not a lot of muscle there.
Yeah.
And it hurts like the heck, but you can bounce back from it with some ice.
Got a timeout here in Chapel Hill. The Ram feeds on, but the North Carolina Tar Heels are defending in the red zone, up by 2. Welcome to second quarter action, just underway here in Chapel Hill. Steve Martin, Doc Walker, Mike Hogwood. Clemson driving. They're inside the red zone at the 18-yard line. Charlie Whitehurst trying to get the Tigers into the end zone. On 1st and 10, the handoff. Rambert. And it's down to the 12-yard line. Let's take a look at our red zone proficiency here inside the 20. 34 times, 20 touchdowns and 9 field goals. One big one last week by Aaron Hunt. 58% efficiency for touchdowns. Gain on the play of 7 by Rambert. As full as the Clemson backfield can get. Rambert with a carry again. Rambert down to the 5. Flag thrown in.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Looks like a hold possibly at the 10-yard line. Yes, it is.
Holding against the offense. 10 yards from previous spot. Still second down.
Our first quarter stats: North Carolina's rushing yards, 60 of them, most of them in the column of C.J. Stevens.
Yeah, quarterback.
And look at that time of possession, Doc.
You know, we found that to be a bit misleading at times.
Yep.
But in this case, when you're playing against Clemson, you better hog the ball.
Yeah, because they can score in a hurry. And they took 2 plays on 1 possession to go 83 yards. Charlie Whitehurst handing off Bernard Rambert, and Rambert rambles inside the 10 down to the 7.
That was a mauling up front. I mean, the Tigers, you know, as an offensive lineman, the guy gets a holding, but they come back with a vengeance. And this time, again, bit of a delay. And at that point, you see a pancake block right there on the left side. That's Cedric Johnson, 65. And again, a good piece of running. I liked it north-south, shoulders square. And again, secure the football in the red zone.
First and goal, Clemson. This whole series started by a poor Tar Heel punt of 8 yards. Handoff inside Jasmine. He plugs ahead to the 4-yard line. And Isaac Moore, who's had trouble with a broken hand. See his heavily bandaged right hand. He comes in to make the tackle. It's a gain of 4, though, by Bernard Rambert. There's the hand.
And you know the deal. If you can walk, and especially if you're eating, if you can eat at training table, you're playing.
You play.
That would be my rule. If you eat, you play.
Second down. No eat, no play.
No eat, no play.
Second down goal from the 3. Rambert and Jasmine, the featured backs. Robinson is the only wideout. Double tight end set. Rambert powers into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson.
Oh, nice play. That was clean as a whistle. Well blocked. Jasmine on the end. He kind of sealed it. The right side of that offensive line again. Henry, Walker. They walked the dog on that one, buddy. That was the way you like to draw it up. Efficient run. Again, we talk about Jasmine, 10 fullback. Watch the interior, couple cut blocks, and no blue shirts where it counts. And that's on the ball carrier.
Aaron Hunt lines up for the point after. Out of the hold of Jeff Scott, and it is good. So Clemson strikes very quickly. 2 scores in the space of about 6 minutes. The most recent one by Bernard Rambert, who rambles in from 3 yards out. Clemson up by 5.
ACC football is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Get the feeling. Toyota.
Chapel Hill on a partly cloudy day. Clouds have started to filter in here, but it's still kind of mild. And the Clemson Tigers have pushed out in front for the first time today on a touchdown by Bernard Rambert. Rambert going in for the 4th time this season. This one from 3 yards out. Stephen Furr getting set to kick off. Took them 7 plays. 6 of them were running plays, 45 yards. And they were set up by a short punt by North Carolina in North Carolina territory at the 45.
And that's what really started the things off. I mean, you get a poor punt, and you put your defense in a bad situation. And now the offense has got to respond to this.
Wallace Wright has had a couple of nice returns. Picks it up 2 yards deep in the end zone. And it looked like for a moment he said, let me see if I can just burst through this bump. Elliott on the tackle. Mike Hogwood has more from the sideline.
Well, you guys remember the last series, C.J. Stevens really got popped. He's been stretching it out over here on the sidelines. He's sore, but this is a tough customer. You're not taking him out of the game at quarterback. And an update on Michael Waddell. He rolled his left ankle. They're icing it. His return is questionable.
Well, it's good that he just rolled it.
Yeah.
Because it could have been the knee.
And that's what you don't want.
No.
I agree with Mike Hogwood. This is going to be really such a critical drive for the Tar Heels again to snatch that momentum from Clemson.
Aiken across the formation in motion. Here comes the pitch to Carey. Carey comes up, gets hit by Thomas, still moving. Not many can claim that.
No.
Gets him over the 15 to the 16. John Leake brings him down.
Well, he shows you he's a special freshman. You don't run through the hit machine, you know, without paying for it. Now you see the little toss. First of all, you got to secure it. Then he takes it up vertical. Hit machine comes in. And also Nick Eason. So that's 2 of the Tigers that know how to do it. And he ran through both.
19 tackles against Duke last week. Thomas did. Second down and 6. Pass to the flats is behind Mitchell. Timing play, and Mitchell either zigged when he should have zagged or something blew up there.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this. You watch what Vaughn did coming in, he disrupted it. They really tried to get a cut block on Khalid Vaughn, and he wouldn't go for it. And he probably had as much to do with that than anything.
For the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. That's what I say to that.
Well, all right.
Third down and 6. North Carolina down 14-9. Blitz is on. That's Donnell Washington wrapping up C.J. Stevens at the 2.
Well, you talk about an efficient rush. Now, that's a man at 6'6", 315 pounds. You know, sometimes you get unblocked. Why? You know, you can only scratch your head. I'm sure Gary Tranquil is scratching his head. But if you're going to let a guy go, and I'm sure C.J. Stevens will say, please not let the biggest guy go unblocked. It was looking for fan protection. It looked as if, you know, he was fanning out, but the guy inside comes to your quarterback.
Here's Lafferty with not much real estate to work with. And he gets out a high-hanging punt. That drives Hamilton back to the 46. And he's brought down there very quickly. So good special teams coverage on a nice punt by John Lafferty. Kevin Knight and Bullard come in for the play. It's 14-9. Clemson will return after these messages from your local ACC station. Second quarter continues. Our Citgo ACC game of the week. Clemson spots North Carolina 9, and now they have a 5-point lead and the ball in Tar Heel territory at the 46. We played the last 10 minutes or so at the North Carolina end of the field. Ty Hill, little flare pass there from Charlie Whitehurst.
Boy, a little blow thrown at the end. Boy, Kevin Youngblood. You got to control your emotions.
All right, so our scoreboard finds North Carolina State up by a touchdown on Maryland. That's a great struggle. Purdue leading Ohio State with a few remaining unbeatens. Texas leading Baylor by a touchdown.
Poor Dave Burchett.
It's his school.
Yeah.
Our producer, our director, rather.
They don't ever seem to win.
No, it's not in the cards.
No.
Second down. Handoff. Straight ahead. This is Hill again, and he pushes the pile down to the 39-yard line. DeFonte Coleman making the tackle along with Dexter Reed.
Now that play won't make many highlights, but I love it. I mean, when you can move that pile, and I mean that's why you lift the weights. That's why you squat. Go through all of that ridiculous lifting and straining you have to do in the offseason.
4-yard gain brings up third down and 3. Big third down for the North Carolina defense. Charlie Whitehurst. Blitz is on. Pass almost intercepted.
Twice.
2 North Carolina players had a shot at it. Hawkins had the first shot, and I think Dexter Reed the second.
Buddy, you can't schedule opportunity, but when it knocks, you better open the door.
Yep.
I mean, it can't get any easier than that. And the good players, too. You know, when you see your best players not come up with it, and Carolina, boy, they could have used that one.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Hawkins had a shot at it. It was intended for Curry.
Rare to see Charlie Whitehurst and his receivers not be on the same page.
Right. Yeah. It's happened more than once today.
And then maybe it's wrong for us. I mean, based on 320 yards or so and a great game in his opener, he is normal, human.
Timeout call by the Tar Heels to get the right number of people out there on the field for special teams. The defense is held.
Well, they dodged a bullet because the Tigers, buddy, if they'd have put that one in the end zone, this would have been an uphill battle for the Heels.
Certainly would have. Well, hey, fans, now's your chance to enter Toyota's You Pick'em sweepstakes. Just go online at jpsports.com. Click on the Toyota banner to register and pick the winners. Weekly prizes are given to the participant with the highest point total. The grand prize winner, to be announced November 23rd, will receive a new 2003 Toyota 4Runner. The Toyota You Pick'em sweepstakes. See jpsports.com for the official rules. Entrants must be legal residents of the states of Florida, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, or South Carolina.
Now, you're not eligible, right?
I don't know where I live nowadays.
Yeah, you know.
No, I'm not eligible.
How many zip codes are you involved in?
I'm living in a couple. Fourth down now and about 3 for Clemson. Win Kopp after the North Carolina timeout is back to kick. And Wallace Wright, I believe. No, that's Sam Aiken is pressed into punt formation, and that's what the injury to Waddell will force you to do. Goes to your top receiver now, as Aiken will be back to receive the punt.
Not a bad way to go.
No. Sure-handed receiver.
Sam back there. This is a defining moment in the ball game that Carolina was able to come up with that stop. I think we'll look back on that.
Low snap and a bad kick. But it takes a Clemson roll. So it achieves the purpose. Down to the 9-yard line. Now, coming up next week, we got 3 different bags packed here because we're not sure where we're going to go. We're going to know that Sunday. It could either be Maryland and Clemson.
Death Valley, I'd love that.
It could be North Carolina State at Virginia.
Now, that'd be sweet too.
And of course, it could be North Carolina at Florida State. We haven't been Doak Campbell in a long time.
Can't beat that. I mean, how do you lose on that?
I think you got Krispy Kreme every stop right there.
I knew
you can't lose.
Yeah, you know that. I haven't had one though since Virginia. Charlottesville.
1st and 10. Handoff goes to Terry, and he stumbles into the line of scrimmage. And
he also missed his blocks.
Yeah.
That time he didn't follow his lead. You know, sometimes that works. Other times it can be painful. I mean, when you don't follow your lead blockers and you see it went there, he goes in there.
Yeah.
That creates a difference.
Yep. And he's coming to the sideline. Jacques Lewis will go in. Chesley Borders is split wide to the bottom side. Darrell Mitchell to the top. In the slot is Sam Aiken. Quick pass to the flats. It's complete to the true freshman Mitchell. Mitchell builds up a head of steam and gets out to the 18-yard line. He's a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, the young man out of Winston-Salem shows you that he's got athletic ability. You make a guy miss, you know, catch the football and get you more than you count on. That's what it's all about, playing wide receiver.
9:04 left to go here in the quarter. Mitchell with a 7-yard gain. 3rd down. And a very short yard. Big 3rd down for the Tar Heels. They want to keep the chains moving and their defense off the field for a while. Handoff Jacques Lewis, and he may not have had it. Good penetration by Clemson at the point of attack. And that is going to be Maurice Fountain, who made the hit underneath it all.
Tell you, that's strong there. If you want to make a name for yourself, you make it on 3rd down. 290-pound sophomore saying, I don't think so.
Be close enough for a measurement, Doc. So the chain gang comes out, and we'll see if Jacques Lewis gets the benefit of a good spot, because otherwise
you make the call.
Doesn't look like he got it from here. Nope. 4th down. Tar Heels are now saying to their coaches, let's go for it. But John Bunting is saying no.
No, he's saying, you got to be kidding me. That's what he's saying. Now, the crowd has based that on the last punt that Carolina had.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the case, I say go for it as well. But if you think you can get, you know, a good collegiate punt, then you have to go with the percentages in this one.
All right, Lafferty's back out there. He kicked one from his end zone that looked pretty good. But
they might fake it.
They do. They do. They fake it and get the 1st down and more. Jacques Lewis. What a gutsy call by North Carolina. Out to the 46-yard line.
Well, we've seen that before.
A 27-yard gain. They took a gamble on 4th down. It's senior day. You do it.
Well, apparently Clemson didn't see that tape. I mean, you can't win if you're scared. I mean, you got to take some chances. I just like the acting job that Coach Bunting did.
Yeah.
He turns away. Oh, no. He turns around and walks away. Good job, John.
Meantime, they're calling one from the booth.
Yeah. Stomach's, you know, up in his esophagus.
Handoff, reverse. And there may be a pass on the end of this from Darrell Mitchell, but no. Mitchell.
Now, that's a crazy hit there, Dean.
Yep. That adds to the Carolina yardage. And now somebody down there wants to take on the entire
coach
Carolina
can't hit the player either now.
Khalid Vaughn. And John Bunting now cleans up things on his sideline.
Yeah, that could have been a double fall. He could have lost 15 yards on that because the sidelines can't make a contact with the active player now, too. That's why John has once again lost a hat.
After the play, personal foul, late hit on defense. 15 yards to the end of the run. First down.
Let's look at the play that brought us here, the fake punt.
A great acting job. Was that Gary Parsons faked out? And there you see. Why do I mess with Parsons so much? As tough as he is, you know.
There's the reverse. Now Darrell Mitchell looks like he's going to throw.
He's got to know when to run.
Yep.
And he picks it up there. And then this is where, you know, and Vaughn at that point, when I see the second time around little contact, I don't think that was intentional.
C.J. Stevens, quarterback straw, and he gets it down to the 22-yard line. So the Tar Heels are moving the football. And again, we remind you, for the best deals on cars, trucks, and SUVs, visit your local Toyota dealer today. A gain on the play of about 8. C.J. Stevens, the leading rusher for the Tar Heels this afternoon.
It's not what you like, but you take it.
4 wide outs, 3 to the wide side of the field. Inside handoff, Jock Lewis picks his way among Clemson jerseys and gets it close to a first down at the 20. Travis Pugh and Rodney Thomas in on the tackle for the Tigers. Brian McNeil getting up off the pile. It's a gain of a yard on the play.
In this game, there's so many plays that aren't glamorous and don't have a lot of luster to them that help you win. And you have to be able to get them. That time, Clemson, I think, only giving up a yard, forcing this is a big play for the Tigers.
It's going to be a measurement down here. And it's going to be just shy. The Tar Heels are looking at third and less than a yard. Well, stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll be highlighting the best in the ACC, and it's presented by Don Pablo's. And Mike Hogwood gets the honors.
He always gets the honors.
Yeah.
Don Pablo's. He gets all the free food, never shares again.
We're up here working hard. Tossing out mentions. And people who don't even buy.
No.
Third down. And an inch. Oh, what? No. Oh, what a hit. Was that Rodney Thomas?
He's still going.
Now, he may have made it.
He made it off second effort.
But boy, what a hit at the line of attack by Rodney Thomas. 41 stuck a helmet in there.
Boy, the hit, man.
Oh.
I can't wait to see his highlight film. First of all, sprinter stance large. It's about timing.
Oh.
He gets right in and just, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Look at that effort by Stevens.
Well, this is crazy. These quarterbacks, these kids now, you mentioned it earlier, big, strong kids who clearly didn't play quarterback their whole life. They're football players.
He didn't get it. Fourth down now.
And now this is about testosterone.
Yeah.
We're going to find out who's all the trash talking going on now. We're going to find out now, who has a little lead in the body.
All right.
Hey, buddy, now we're talking my language. See Coleman out there trying to get the fans going. 5,000 Clemson Tiger fans here.
Inches to go on fourth down. North Carolina trailing by 5. Blitz coming. Fake handoff. Back to throw. C.J. Stevens still incomplete to Bobby Blizzard. Mance covering on the play. Clemson guessed right by sending the backers.
No question. Play took too long to develop. I like the fact that you go to Blizzard. I mean, he's the go-to guy. You need a little bit of quicker operation. I thought maybe try to get him to draw him off sides. Play took long. See, right now it's got to be gone. Got to be gone. Blizzard, again, looked like he may have had a chance at it. There you go, Leak. There, what, hit machine. Watch it. He comes in, takes that gap, and you got to block him. He's the guy. You cannot let him go free. Pick someone else. Boy, that's great recovery at the end. Boy, I tell you this, that was close.
Well, the Tar Heels drive it from their own 9-yard line, but it sputters to a close on downs at the 20 of Clemson, and that's where the Tigers will take over first and 10. Up 14-9.
That was good football.
Yep.
That was good football.
Charlie Whitehurst. Redshirt freshman. He's 6'4", 6'5". Low snap, hands it off to Ty Hill. And Hill makes the best out of a play that Really shouldn't have gone that far.
Yeah, that was good hands. Charlie showed real good hands and poise to recover, get that, and hand it off.
Tony Pickford on the.
Man, you watch that. Low snap, doesn't panic, follows through, and continues with his fake.
And one of the reasons you can do that, Doc, his block is still there. That offensive line's still cleaning out holes.
Again, I've talked a lot about Coach West and the work he's done with that offensive line.
There's the handoff. And Hill across the 30 to the 32, where he's got the first down. Doug Justice there carried in there for the tackle.
It's a game of emotions. And you get a fake punt, and all of a sudden Carolina Blue is going nuts. You have momentum, and you lose. You can't get a yard, a half a yard. And now, you know, the orange side explodes. And defensively, Carolina has to understand what they're dealing with. And they got to get the ball back. I mean, you got to force punts, or it's almost impossible to contain this group for 4 quarters.
First and 10, handoff Hill, big hole off the left side. And he gets out to the 39-yard line. Dexter Reed on the tackle, along there with him, Kevin Knight. And with more on Mike Waddell, here's Mike Hogwood.
Well, we told you he rolled the ankle. They tried to ice it. It was still really painful for him. So he has gone for x-rays now on his ankle, and that might be a little more serious than they thought.
Hey, Hogg looks like Doug Justice, too, the middle linebacker, Carolina's version of the hit machine. He just went out. Seems like he's in a bit of pain.
Second down at about 3 with a gain of 7. Hill, the lone setback for Whitehurst. He'll get the handoff. Clemson has gone on the ground with success, and Hill gets into Tar Heel territory at the 40-yard line. 21-yard gain on the play.
Well, the fact that Clemson can do this is why I like their offense. There you see the big fella, Cedric Johnson, 320. He makes it happen right there. You see him inside. It's a seal. And then you need a back that can just outrun a backer. That's evident in this case. Well, Sean Williams didn't have a chance to, couldn't make up the speed.
14 plays. The last 14 plays that Clemson has run, 13 of them have been run.
It's attitude, man. If you can run it, run it.
There's Ty Hill. And Hill, again, pushes the pile toward the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 on the play.
And I'll tell you why, Steve. It's demoralizing for a defense to just, you know, it's like being beaten with a blunt instrument. You just pounding the guy down. Nothing he can do about it. You take control. In about a 4th quarter, you can blow on him.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes up.
Mike Hogwood has more on that North Carolina defense. It's been out there now a long time this quarter.
Yeah, much of this series have been going with 3 down linemen. Talking to folks here on the sideline, that's the first time they've done that this year. Looks like they're a little more traditional right now, but they weren't able to stop the run with those 3 down linemen.
Second down and 6. Whitehurst hands off to Hill. And again, he dances ahead, close to first down yardage. Hit at the line of scrimmage by Chase Page.
Yeah, Chase Page is all over him.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just have to let the back do his thing. And Hill has shown us right now that he has great feet. And Chase is going, what happened? The guy was right in front of me.
Madison Hedgecock also helped on the tackle. 3 weeks ago, Madison Hedgecock was playing fullback on offense for North Carolina.
And volunteered to go over and help his team on defense.
Third down and 2. Now they can't bring him back. Charlie Whitehurst has Curry in the slot, but again, Rambert.
Boy, I tell you this.
He's short.
At the bottom might have been Coates. I think down at the bottom of that pile, Dante Coates, young man who I can't figure out. Every time we see him in the game, he makes plays.
Yep.
But he only plays about 10 plays a game. Now this is a young man who doesn't realize his talent. If he did, he'd work himself into that lineup, and he'd stay there.
Well, he's on there now. 4th down and 1, and Clemson will go for it.
This is great.
We've had
gunfighters, baby.
Yep. This is going to be the fourth down decision. 2 aside.
We're going to test your manhood.
Handoff goes to Jasmine, the fullback. Oh, he's hit.
No, he may not.
Knight is there, along with Johnson. Now, he had a forward surge.
It's all about the mark, my brother. It's all about the mark. No.
There's not going to be a measurement. It's North Carolina football.
You got to love it, folks.
There's some hitting out
football.
there. Clemson by 5, and the Tar Heels have it back.
ACC football is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Get the feeling. Toyota.
Welcome back to Kingdom Stadium. You know, Steve, there are 5 or 6 plays that will define a ball game. This is one of them. There you watch young man Tommy Davis, 80 at the bottom of that pile. You have Carolina blue that attacks the orange, and they hope.
And the Tar Heels get it back on downs. Pass to the sidelines, incomplete. 5 in a row that Stevens has failed to connect with a receiver on, and there didn't seem to be a blue-shirted receiver in the vicinity of that throw.
What you get with a big play like that, Steve, is attitude. Again, Kevin Knight was showing there, jumping around and hollering, and that's what you need to play this game. You need enthusiasm. You throw the records out. Forget about it at this point.
It's the last time you put the blue on this season. You're in the roadies the rest of the way. 2nd down and 10. Open backfield here, and 5 wide receivers out. Flag on the play. Somebody moved before. And this will push North Carolina back a little bit.
That would have been Big Nick.
Yeah, he might have gotten across. Could be against Clemson. Zamorski talking it over with his crew. No, we've seen it all. A safety started this game. Tar Heels Kevin Knight tackled Whitehurst in the end zone. Then Bobby Blizzard pulled in an 18-yard pass. That made it 9-0. Clemson came right back quickly.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 5. Curry caught an 83-yard pass from Whitehurst to make it 9-7 Tar Heels, and then Rambert on a 3-yard run. And there's our Ice House scoreboard. Still the same in College Park. Texas is pushed out ahead of poor Baylor.
Are you surprised?
No. 2nd down and 5. Stevens back to throw. McNeil was in the vicinity, and the pass incomplete, intended for Pollock, who's wanting a flag but will not get it.
Boy, that's like 1-on-3. I mean, C.J. Stevens picked a guy who had a couple of people in his vicinity.
Yeah.
And maybe needed to hit that check down on the left side that was open. Of course, it's easy to see it from here. I mean, this kid has shown a lot. But I'm waiting on him to go over the top again.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen a lot of underneath passing, but we haven't seen him give us that version of Whitehurst going over the top.
3rd down and 5. 2 for 7 the Tar Heels are in this situation. They trail 14-9. Time ticking off in the 2nd quarter. Minute and a half to go. Here's Stevens. At the line of... Oh! Akins ran before he had it.
Boy, he had it too. You talk about negotiating time. C.J. Stevens gave us a clinic on that one. Again, he's willing to take the hit. And that's what separates him. A rare drop by Akins as well. I think this time he was looking downfield. May have wanted to go get one. Good defense by Clemson. Now watch it right here. I mean, that's big. That reminds me of some things Woodrow Dantzler did a year ago at Clemson.
Here comes the punt by Lafferty. Kind of short. Hamilton will take it, and whoa, got the legs cut out right from underneath him.
He's fearless.
And that is Landon Mariani. To the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
Well, we're just a couple of seconds away from halftime. We're going to get comments from both coaches, Tommy Bowden and John Bunning. We will have, of course, our best of the ACC, and we will have scores and highlights, so hang around. Halftime is just around the corner, guys.
That was Ronald Brewer who made the tackle. There were 2 number 9s on the Carolina roster. Mariani's a quarterback. No way he'd be playing special teams. 1st and 10 from the 31.
Why are you so hard on quarterback?
You meant to do a few things. Special teams not one of them. Rambert. Nice yardage after the catch, gets the 1st down and pushes the ball out to the 47-yard line. It's a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, Rambert, he's having the game. He's having the ball game. Now you watch Whitehurst again, has shown us kid just has a lot of poise.
Chase Page was running him down, but kept his cool. 1st and 10. Waiting for the chain gang to catch up on the far sideline. We're in our final minute of play, or close enough to it.
But Bowden's offense, it'll wear a chain gang out.
Here's the pass, complete to Youngblood, his first catch of the day. We have a flag down, however, behind the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line. So we'll wait before we mark this one in the books. That's the first. That's not the first pass thrown in Youngblood's direction today, but it is the first that he was able to catch. Zamorski coming off to the side here to let us know.
Illegal formation against the offense. Less than 7 men on the line. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So it's second down and 15. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Atlantic Coast Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. First and 15 is called. 4 wide receivers. Rambert is the setback. Charlie Whitehurst steps up, fires. No.
Oh, that was money.
Intended for Hamilton.
Boy, he almost had it. I mean, really, you talk about hitting a guy on the run, and Hamilton of all people, he gets that, he scores.
Right in
that's
stride.
the kind of guy he is. He gets the ball in stride, crank the band up.
Yeah.
And it shows you how close this was.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's his ball.
Yep.
It couldn't have been thrown any better. That's a touchdown. Hamilton drops.
Second and 15. Whitehurst back to throw, steps up. Davis is chasing him. He's floated one out here. McKelvey gets the catch and gets the touchdown.
Boy, that's confidence there.
He caught a duck.
Well, that's alley-oop. You know, that's alley-oop. 58 yards on that. Whitehurst throws a ball up that all receivers love because they go back and say, yo, dog, just throw it out there. I'll get it. And that's exactly what he does on that. Now translate that. I'm open. Throw me the football. And you watch him again. He got the stride and going, throws the hand up. That says, I'm open. Give me the football. And at this point, he goes up, plays basketball.
Hunt kicks the extra point through the uprights. With 29 seconds left to go. Let's see the tail end of that play here.
And now it's a jump ball. Sets the feet up. Boy, catches the ball right with the hands and then tops it off with the score. Outstanding.
And Hawkins couldn't get enough fabric off of J.J. McKelvey, who scores. Let's see it again.
What's a free ball? At this point, you know, Hawkins had to say, hey, look, I can catch that as well. I'm no longer a defensive back. I'm a receiver. He's got to get set up. He lost his footing, lost the receiver, gave up the points.
Whitehurst's second touchdown pass today. Charlie Whitehurst will take it. Yep.
They don't need a lot of time. That's what makes them scary.
3 plays. That's all it took that time. 69 yards. They scored at the 29-second mark. And Willie Simmons is the first to give Charlie Whitehurst the greeting. That's pretty good.
That's why you can understand what Coach Bowden was wrestling with you know, making a move with Willie Simmons. The turnovers. If they don't turn the ball over,
yeah, Willie Simmons
with
still
their
out.
personnel, they're tough to beat, man. I mean, real hard to beat.
A mismatch. There's Clemson wide receivers. They've got several at 6'3" or more. Actually, they have 3 at 6'4". North Carolina DBs average height 5'10". Hawkins is just that, 5'10", 170. He was going up against J.J. McKelvey, who's 6'4", 210.
Well, that's the one thing that Coach Bowden has done with his recruiting. They have upgraded their skill spots dramatically.
Michael Gilmore, true freshman, tracks his kickoff down at the 1 and brings it out to the 14. 12-yard return.
Now,
and there's where the Tar Heels will start. Down now 21-9.
That's quick strike ability that I've referenced with Clemson. Carolina has got to conjure up a way to go long distance.
Yeah.
You know, and they have a guy, wears number 88. Has caught a lot of balls for him, you know, who can make that happen. We've seen Mitchell also show those kind of quicks, but they have got to get in this long ball arena in order to keep pace.
Because 10 plays in a punt.
27 seconds on the clock. 27 seconds on the clock.
So we're going to move the clock back to 27 seconds. That's all that's left here in this first half. North Carolina got in front 9-0 on a safety, and then an 18-yard pass play to Bobby Blizzard from C.J. Stevens. And then it's been all Clemson since then. Aries Curry, an 83-yard pass from Whitehurst. Bernard Rambert, 53-yard run, capping a 7-play march after a bad punt. And J.J. McKelvey, a 58-yard alley-oop pass. C.J. Stevens will take a knee and call it a half, as the Tar Heels will go into the locker room and regroup. The clock will roll down. It still has a long way to go, but North Carolina not anxious to get another playoff deep in the territory that they're in at the 13-yard line. So the teams head to the locker room. John Bunting taps his hat as if to say, mental errors. Got to get away from them here in the first half.
Yeah, you're playing a dangerous offense.
And let's go to the sidelines. Mike Hogwood has Tommy Bowden.
Well, I tell you what, in the first half, that long ball working pretty good from Charlie Whitehurst.
Yeah, they blitzed us a couple times. We've gotten behind them, which is, you got to be able to do that to scare them out of man.
Your team showed a lot of poise, got down 9-0, and really hung there and fought back. In the running game seems to be going well in the first half.
We're experts for coming behind. We had good work on that last week.
Final question: what do you tell your guys now in the locker room here at halftime?
Well, we got to put the knife in and see if we can finish somebody off. We haven't been able to do it all year.
All right, Tommy Bowden headed to the locker room. His Clemson Tigers in front at halftime thanks to 2 big Charlie Whitehurst touchdown passes. It's 21-9. Our halftime activities from Kenan Stadium coming up.
ACC football is brought to you by Cooper Tires. Cooper Tires don't give up a thing. By Don Pablo's, the real enchilada. By Motel 6. For the lowest rate of any national chain, call 800-4-MOTEL-6. And by your neighborhood Citco. Proud to support today's athletes. Citco, we know you.
Hey, wait a minute. There's a lot more happening at Clemson. We're working on smart fibers for protective clothing that can keep out heat, cold, even dangerous toxins. Our bioengineers are developing longer-lasting hip and knee implants. And get this, Clemson scientists are designing teeny tiny pacemaker batteries that recharge with body heat. Amazing.
It's a beautiful day in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. We're at Kenan Stadium. It's the final home game of the year for the North Carolina Tar Heels. And at halftime, they trail the Clemson Tigers 21-9. Mike Hogwood with you at halftime now, and it started out great for North Carolina. The defense sacks Charlie Whitehurst in the end zone for a safety. Then the offense takes it right back down the field. C.J. Stevens throws to his tight end, Bobby Blizzard. It's 9-0. But then those long bombs that Clemson was so successful on a week ago against Duke, well, they started hitting them in the first half here. Here's our play, and it is Charlie Whitehurst, Therese Curry, and you see why he's one of the stars on the Clemson track team. The bomb for the touchdown, it was 14-7. Whitehurst also hit another long pass to J.J. McKelvey. Bernard Rambert helped a pretty good running game for Clemson in the first half. He takes it in from 3 yards out, and that accounts for our score now at 21-9. Well, as we do every week, time for us now to take a look at some statistics from around the ACC. It's time for Don Pablo's Best of the ACC. Scott McBrien of Maryland has the Terps making some noise. They beat the Tar Heels right here, 59-7 last week. Boy, is Maryland hot. And McBrien is moving up in those passing efficiency stats. Phillip Rivers and Matt Schaub of Virginia still ahead of him. Now you take a look at all-purpose yards. Derek Hamilton really hadn't gotten loose going today, but he leads the league in that category. Fabian Davis of Wake Forest, number 2. Kerry Watkins is 3rd, and he's not only the top 5 in all-purpose yards, but he's among the top receivers in the league as well. Number 2 to Sam Aiken, and I think Sam Aiken has shown us in the first half why he leads the league in that category. Dexter Reed of North Carolina has had some big hits, believe me, down here on the sideline. It has been some big plays from Dexter Reed. He leads the league in tackles, and that's the Don Pablo's Best of the ACC. 21-9 is our score. Where will we be next week? Well, we don't know. It'll be one of 3 games that we'll be able to bring you next week. It'll be Maryland, Clemson, NC State, Virginia, or North Carolina at Florida State. For more information, you can log on to jpsports.com early next week to find out the game that we'll be carrying. 21-9, Clemson over North Carolina. We'll be back with more halftime in just a moment.